I come to Southern stories as an outsider. So when I'm called this fresh voice in Southern fiction, I always have to kind of smile behind the camera because I grew up in Philadelphia. So when I'm writing about it, I'm learning about it. And although I've been here 30 years, and although I've, completely immersed myself in the South, I look at it a little more objectively while I dive into the deep end of it.
So tell me about the idea of love.
Whenever I'm on the road, people often tell me their stories. And I joke around and say that there are only a few people that people love to tell their secret stories to. Not their public stories, but their secret stories. And those are bartenders.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Right? And hairdressers.
And hairdressers.
And novelists.
Right.
And often people say to me, will you write that story? And I always say, I don't want to steal your story. So I started to wonder why I kept saying that and what does that even mean? And so I decided to write about a screenwriter who had had some flops and needed to steal a story. And how he believed that the answer was on the outside, because we both know that creatively the answer is on the inside.
Do you structure your writing? Are you a free-form kind of girl, or do you outline and make sure everything has a path?
I want to be an outliner. I do. I want to be an outliner so badly. I want to have my closet organized by color. I want to file my kids' pictures by year, but I don't do any of those things. What I do is I come up with something that I'm interested in. The Stories We Tell was about letterpress. And I knew that the main character would run a letterpress before I knew what the book was even about. Mm-hmm. So I can't outline that. I have to explore it.
You have a talent for finding the parts of people that others overlook. Those small moments that you put in really define them. How do you take the minutia and turn it into story gold?
It's this way of living in the world where I'm noticing all these little things. And of course that can be distracting, but that's where the gist of life is. That's where the good stuff is. What do they say? That the general is in the particular.
Thanks so much for being here today, Patti.
It was an honor. Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
And thank you for joining us on A Word on Words. I'm JT Ellison. Keep reading. What were you listening to?
You're going to laugh when I tell you.
What?
Finders Keepers.
Oh.
Stephen King.
Yeah.
He keeps you alert and oriented during driving.